Let's try it again.
Good stuff.
All right, here we're going in 3, 2, 1. Let me start our magic timer. Get the phlegm out of my throat. Nice.
Just don't get it on the camera.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Digital Entrepreneur Show. This is the show where we talk about all things digital and how you can use them to start, run, and grow your very own business, be it offline or on. We are here every Tuesday and Friday at noon Pacific time. We do a half-hour show. We do live shows in between, and you can find our podcasts on SoundCloud, on YouTube, or iTunes. YouTunes? Guys, I just started
YouTunes
website. Hey,
I like that.
Get my tongue out of my mouth, or my wonderful co-host, Professor Nez. How are you, Nez?
I'm doing fabulous, Tim. Good to see you guys. Good to see you, Steve.
You too, buddy.
Hey there, guys.
Steve GAMLIN. Steve, how are you?
Doing great. How are you guys doing?
You know, it's been a week or so since we did anything, and I'm finding that my tongue is fighting with my teeth today. I'm not. I think on the last.
That's just the medication.
Yeah, the last show I was lisping. And Nez just had no compassion for me. I thought
you sounded better.
I thought I was having a stroke, and Nez was laughing his.
We're all going to be laughing.
Nice.
Really?
You know, that's a great sign when people are laughing when you're in the middle of a stroke.
I tell you, it tells you a whole lot about how you lived your life.
Yeah.
So, hey, as I said at the top of the show, this is the show where we talk about digital entrepreneurship. Again, how you as an entrepreneur can use all things digital, be it websites, blogs, social media, audio, video, you name it, to start, run, and grow your very own business. Or you may have an offline business that you want to move online. This is the show where we talk about that. And guys, today, you know, I thought this is show number 11. It was about darn time we talk about selling, because in business, you don't really have a business until something is sold, until someone is actually handing you money for your product and service. So how about it, guys? You want to talk about the importance of selling?
Yes.
Yes.
I know this is one of Nez's favorite topics. In fact, Nez,
yes.
Recently you sent me a LinkedIn article from Robert Herjavec, who is one of the sharks on Shark Tank. And he has a new book out. I skipped the title of it, but he talks about the importance of selling, and he gave 5 tips about selling. And what I want to do, guys, is just kind of go over these tips one at a time, get your feedback, and then talk about things more general. Does that sound good?
Fantastic.
Yep. All right. The first thing he said is you've got to remember when you are a business trying to sell something to a consumer, the first thing you are selling is you. Nez, when you hear that, what do you think?
Well, I mean, you are the face of the company. You are the brand. You are the entrepreneur. If the whole premise of this show, being a digital entrepreneur, I think that people have the wrong impression. I think selling or salesman has a stigma attached to it. And usually when people first think of selling, or they think of being a salesman, they think that you have to be some kind of, you know, sort of a schlockmeister, a snake oil, or manipulative or deceptive. And that's just not true. And here's why I'm going to tell you that, why I think that that's not true anymore. Maybe in the past when, you know, Steve, Tim, and I were first starting, you know, you did have to you had certain tactics that you needed to implement. But nowadays, the difference between then and now in the digital landscape is, back then, buyers didn't have as much knowledge of you and your company as they do now.
Good point.
So don't think that you need to be tactical, or you need to have strategies. You need to be in any way, shape, or form use these sort of real icky tactics. Authenticity wins. And if you think that you don't have to sell, I mean, everything you're doing is selling. Every time you talk to somebody, every time you write a blog, every time you show up anywhere, you're selling. You could be at CVS. If you have your t-shirt on, you're selling, right? You could be in line at a conference and somebody says, "What do?" You got to start selling. Yeah. So selling has, I want to demystify the sort of title of selling and the word selling. And I think that that's really a great place to start, because buyers are now as aware of who you are and your brand as ever. So you really, the key is to be just real and be honest, and that's the best way to kind of approach it.
I really like, what you said there, kind of get my brain going, because the fact of the matter is most of the time you will not buy from someone you don't like.
Right.
And I think that's what it means when you have to realize that you are selling yourself before you sell any product or service. If a customer, if you come across with, schmarmy or, car salesman-y, excuse me, my car salesman friends, but that's the stigma.
It's true.
They're still the same. They're pretty much still the same.
Well,
I'm kidding.
We've all done this. You walk onto a car lot and it's like you are chud in the water and the sharks are coming to tear you apart. Yep. And so I think that's the point there. And the other thing, Nez, that came to my mind when you brought that up was the word selling, the word sold are very negative words. No one wants to be sold, but everybody wants to buy.
Yes.
And this is one thing I teach in my entrepreneur classes when we talk about customer service is, when someone says, look at what that guy sold me. I mean, what's happening there, it's a very negative, and you're putting it on the salesperson. I was forced into buying this. Look what that guy sold me. But on the other hand, hey, look what I bought. You see how the blame kind of shifts there?
Yep.
People don't want to be sold. People want to buy. Even if they're being subtly sold, which I think Nez is alluding to, is you as an entrepreneur, you're always selling. It may not be, out in front of your store hawking things off a table, but if you've got on a T-shirt or you've got a magnet on your car or you're just talking to someone in general, you're always selling. Steve, now you're a speaker. You probably interface with more people than Nez and I combined. What does it mean to you where you have to be the first thing that is sold is you?
The thing I try to always keep in mind is wherever I am, and you mentioned this is great too, even if you're just on the street or in a conversation, I'm always trying to represent what I would be like on stage for this person, whether it be the energy, the integrity, whatever it might be. So wherever I am, I'm very subtly selling myself. And I'm about the most passive salesperson in the world because I'm one of those people who finds that some people are way too slimy, especially in the speaking industry, about their selling. So wherever I am, whether I'm online, writing an article, filming a show like this, or recording a podcast, what I'm just trying to do is to give people the idea of the feeling that it would be like to work with me, even just in a conversation. And I've had so many people say, I just enjoyed this conversation so much. I think our company could really benefit from, sharing an hour of what we just shared for 5 minutes. And at that point, I'll say, may I give you a card? And that's where, again, I just have the tiniest little sales actions because I'm just not one of those people who goes over the top. I don't cold call. I don't throw my cards at people. I don't tuck them in people's pockets at networking events because I've had that done to me and it sucks.
Had that happen.
Oh yeah, I had ginger ale in one hand and cheese and crackers, and this woman walked down the whole row of us tucking her cards in our pockets, and like, I feel dirty now.
You've been violated.
I felt violated. I really did. I did not get a good feel from that. So wherever I am, I try to create authentic, integrity-based energy and connection and interaction. And I let that be my sales force for me.
And I think the bottom line
13 years, it's working.
The bottom line of that first point is you are your first product. Especially the three of us. Nez is a coach. I'm a coach, a consultant. Steve, you do speaking, coaching, consulting. People are they've got to buy us first. Right. If they don't buy into us and into our vision, and more importantly, they don't buy into the value that we bring them, they're not going to do business. Good stuff, guys. Point 2 that Hershevik brought up was listen more than you talk. Have you guys ever been in a sales situation, Steve? I want to start with you, where you just want to buy something, but the salesman just won't shut up and let you buy.
I have actually cost people sales over that.
Steve, talk about that.
I've had people actually talk me out of a sale.
Yeah.
Because they were so excited. If you remember in Tommy Boy, Chris Farley is talking about having a pretty new pet, and he gets that person so interested, and then he strokes it, and then he wrecks it. I've had people do that to me. I know what I want. I know who has it, and I go there, and I listen to them ramble, and all of a sudden I realize I don't want it from them. They talk themselves out of the sale. And I get, especially newer, and I've had days where people say, great, send us the contract. And I started talking about the event, and they go, just send us the contract.
Yeah, just shut up and send us
and the part in parentheses was, and shut up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I get it, but too many people do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that a lot. I was in the retail business for many years, and I always did the sales training for my guys that worked behind the counter. And I had one guy, he was probably the most knowledgeable son of a gun you ever meet. You remember the show Cheers? And you remember, who was it? Cliff Clavin,
the post office guy.
It's a little known fact.
That's the way this guy was. I mean, this customer, I stood there and watched this customer give this guy a dozen buying signals, and he just kept talking and talking. So, Nez, really, really quickly, what do you think about that? Can you talk too much when you're trying to?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you can definitely talk yourself out of a sale. I've seen it happen because you get so eager, you get so excited, especially as a digital entrepreneur, especially as somebody who's self-employed. You get so amped and so pumped up. Especially me, I'm like a volcano, and you're like a big 8-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
Who got into Daddy's Coke. I mean, you're just
That's exactly right. Exactly right. Medic, aisle 12. So listening is absolutely crucial. When I do a free 15-minute kind of, free, whatever. I mean, I'll talk. It doesn't have to be 15-minute, but I'll usually try to qualify my clients before I work with them, because honestly, some people I can't work with, and that's okay. But I don't just go right into selling. I just don't go right into what I do. I say, so tell me, what is exactly your problem? What's your issue? How can I help? Let them kind of tell you, and then you react and adapt. So people can listen to your audience, listen to your client, find out what they need, and then react.
Mm-hmm. I think that a lot of entrepreneurs and even salespeople, they lose track of the fact that sales is an art. It really is. I mean, you can be salesman-y and you can have all the skills, but to be a really good salesman means that you're not really selling at all. You're basically convincing the customer how they cannot live without your product. And so I think that's the thing.
And less is more. Less
is very much more. The Art of Selling, I think, is a great book because it talks about know when to shut up.
That's crucial.
You every time you see or hear a buying signal, hand them that magic pen. By the way, guys, I'm showing off my new purple pen that someone was nice enough to send me in the mail for free.
Wow. Does it have a sales?
They want me to order like 1,000 of them for a penny. I'm like, well, when this one runs out.
But they slip that in your pocket?
It didn't work.
Yeah, but you know what? I mentioned that because that is a form of selling. That is the old soft sale. So, okay, the next point that Hershovic talked about, and I think this one's very important because a lot of entrepreneurs and companies don't even address this. Know who to sell to.
Yep.
Not everyone is your customer. You are not Walmart. You don't have something for everyone. So you need to zero in on, okay, who is my customer? You need to develop a customer profile. Can they afford what I'm selling? Do they really need what I'm selling? Steve, has anyone ever tried to sell you something that you honestly had no need or use for simply because they did not take the time to find out who you were?
Yeah. What time is it?
It's
already happened today.
Yeah.
It's constant, and people reach out, whether it be digitally by email or by phone, I had somebody Facebook message me last week trying to sell me something.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, you just friended me recently. Don't try to sell me on Facebook Messenger.
Yep.
Delete.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Well, we
constantly.
Yeah, Nez, we talked about this, I think, on the last show where my friend Larry Winget, who I interviewed recently, 6-time New York Times best-selling author, Fox News analyst, has had his own TV show, had a LinkedIn message pop up that said, we can help you get your book to #1 on Amazon. And Larry's like, did you read my profile, you bastard? Yep. I mean, it's just the same kind of thing. Yep. But Nez, seriously, an entrepreneur can waste an incredible amount of time and money trying to sell to someone who is not really their customer, right?
Your time is money. I equate them as both the same thing. So it's all about productivity. It's all about intelligent work. It's not about working harder necessarily, although I believe in hard work, but working intelligently. So yeah, you absolutely need to research. You need to do your, homework and find out exactly who is your ideal client. Find out actually how you can complement them. What value do you provide to them? And then pitch. Otherwise, there's nothing worse than pitching on deaf ears. There's nothing worse than wasting time going through all that effort and finding out that this person, A, can't afford you, B, has no use for you, and C, they don't even have any kind of concern or problem.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. We've talked about this before, and I see it all the time. The first thing you need to do before you even think about starting a business, be it offline or be it digital, is create that customer profile. Okay, if your product is this, who needs or wants this? Because that's why people buy. They buy out of want, need, and desire. Mm-hmm. I want a new Mercedes SL convertible. I need reliable transportation. Right. I want a 60-inch plasma TV. I want something to watch The Walking Dead on. So, but if you don't know that, I always call them hot buttons, Steve. If you don't know the customer's hot buttons, and we're going to talk about this in an upcoming show more in depth on customer service, you really can't sell to them. So you've got to know who you are, you've got to know really what you're selling, and you've got to know who you're selling it to. The fourth one, Naz, I'm going to let you go first here. Understand what motivates the buyer. What is of value to them? Again, what pain are you easing? What want or need are you satisfying? But until you understand what motivates them, you can't give those hot buttons for them to push. Can you, Nez?
Absolutely not. And this is something that, gets talked about a lot. And I think this is a really, really important issue because so many entrepreneurs, especially digital entrepreneurs, you get so enamored with the product. You get so enamored with yourself. But and this goes back to the last point of, not any of us three, obviously. We're not enamored with ourselves. but
how's my hair?
Yeah, exactly. Let me preen myself.
Yeah.
But so you could spend months and months developing this really cool product. Yeah. But then you have nobody to sell it to. So you just wasted 6-7 months just because you think it's a really cool product or service. But if you don't have an audience to sell it to, what's the point? And Tim, you know as well as I do, the money is important. So why waste all that time if you don't know who your client is, if you don't know who your audience is? So yeah, I think that, and just a real practical tool, if I may, just really quickly, go find out exactly, go reach out to them, build relationships, communicate, message them, but don't message them and say, hey, we can take your book to #1, and not know who the hell they are. The internet is a beautiful resource. You can pretty much find out anything about anybody in this day and age. So being a digital entrepreneur, you're living in the greatest era because you have all this information at your disposal. Use it.
In my mind, it is more important to find out who is in need. Before you even start putting together a business, it's always best to start a business where you are filling a need or filling a hole in the market, or and I'll never forget, we've all done this. I'm not walking on water here. I was in the software business for many years, and I remember once I came up with an idea. I did HR management software, and I came up with this great idea for this piece of software. And so I think we sunk probably 20 grand in programming hours in this piece of software. And, I was just so excited. And when we got it, I unveiled it to my customers, and they went, oh no. They yawn. I made my customer yawn, Naz. You know why? Because
that's shocking.
Care about the product. I thought it was cool, Steve. So I automatically thought they will too. And so that was a $20,000 mistake, but it very much speaks to the point of I thought I knew what was best for the customer, when in reality the customer did not have any interest in what I was doing. The next point that Hershevik said was important was keep it simple. don't overcomplicate things. Don't oversell. Don't dazzle them with your brilliance and end up baffling them with bullshit because they won't buy from you.
Where's that bell? You cursed. Where's that bell? Where's the alarm?
I'm in Alabama. That's not a curse word.
That's not a curse word. That's like a term of endearment.
We learned that one in kindergarten. Miss Smith.
That's on the vocabulary test.
Steve.
Yeah.
Be out of here.
What's the question again?
Talk about keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah. Make it clear. Keep it clear.
Yeah, make it very clear. There are too many people out there trying to be super clever all the time. And I was a director and the educational coordinator for BNI, Business Networking International, up here in New Hampshire for about a decade. And I would see people come in. Now they're part of maybe a direct marketing company or something like that, maybe skincare or these health supplement programs. And they would come in and somebody told them that it would be super clever to say for a skincare company, a great referral for me is anybody with skin. And everybody would laugh and chatter away. And I'd be thinking, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because it's not everybody with skin. It's, okay, we're here in New England. Now, different times of the year, we have different issues with skin, whether it be the heat and humidity or allergy season or whatever. I would take some of these people aside. If they appeared coachable and say, hey, look, if you want to survive here, we're in the middle of summer now. Fall is coming. There are certain allergies that happen in the fall. Start talking about those. Find the pain. You know, figure out what pain you can solve and then figure out who's suffering from that pain. That's where you start. For me.
Yes.
Yeah, no, a great point, Steve. And I have another kind of just direct example of this because I consult people, help them with their resume and their CV and their LinkedIn profile. And again, this kind of goes into sales. This relates to the topic immensely because we get so pumped up and we want to just provide. We want to talk. We want to give as much as we can. You know, I see these resumes and CVs, Steve and Tim, and it's like you got all these fancy borders and fancy diamonds and fancy graphs. I show them my exact CV. Now, I haven't needed a gig like that in a long time, so it's not the most updated, but it's super, super simple. Here's who I am. This is what I do. And personal branding, too, because I also help people with their personal branding, too. And they've got all these fancy things on their website. I mean, Tim, Steve, you guys see this all the time. But what does this person do? You come to this guy's YouTube channel, and you have no idea what their channel's. Simple, clear, less is more. Get to the point. Nobody cares about your fancy schmancy. And here's really the bottom line, if I may, guys. Everybody listening and watching, nobody cares about you. You're not a special snowflake. Nobody gives a rat. Your customer cares about their needs, which is the needs you should be caring about most.
Yeah, I think that is the ultimate point of the entire conversation is you have to focus in on the customers, again, their wants, their needs, their desires. What is it they want? How can you give that to them and collect payment, for doing so? I think that's the thing that most entrepreneurs, gosh, I got to sell something today or the earth is going to stop revolving. But
that's the best sales tactic. The best sales tactic is dive headfirst into your customer's heart, mind, and soul, and you'll sell. You don't even need to be a snake oil salesman. You don't need to be crafty. You'll sell if you just dive into them.
Yeah.
If I can throw in something real quick.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say, if I can just throw in something really quick.
Yes, do that.
One of the things I say to people when they first inquire about me as a speaker, I'll generally ask, have you ever worked with somebody who does what I do before? Oh, yeah, we had a speaker last year. My next question is, how did that work out? And a lot of times I'll see the eyes roll. No, and I hear that a lot. Yeah. Because and then the broad brush gets painted. Well, you're a motivational speaker too, so you probably do the same thing. No, I don't. What did that person do that you don't like? Right. And then I started to get the pain and told them, well, here's my approach toward that. And at least start to show them without saying, here's my speaking agreement, but at least to say, here's what makes me different from that person, so that you're not broad brushing all of us in this industry. Right. Just find the pain and determine how you can solve it.
And just be real.
Yeah. Go ahead, Naz.
You don't have to be this, real amazing extroverted communicator. I mean, that doesn't hurt, but just be I'm telling you, if you're just real and honest, people will connect with you. I mean, if it works for them, everything that we've been talking about, pinging their pain points and all that, super, super valuable, but just be real. You don't have to try so hard. Don't try so hard.
Yeah. The thing about
I try way too hard. Tim will tell you, Nez tries way too hard.
Okay, Nez, too much information here. Keep Keep it simple. The thing is, though, I mean, they do. The best salespeople are the ones that you do not even realize you've been sold by. You know, and that's we got about 6 minutes left, guys. Let's talk about selling in the digital world, because so far we've kind of been talking about face-to-face, maybe retail and service. Steve, I want to talk about selling across digital platforms where you do not have that touch, you know, unless you are doing an online chat or something where you actually converse with the customer. 9 times out of 10, you are just making your sales pitch. You're letting the website or the video or the blog do your selling for you, and then you're hoping they click that buy button. And regrettably, most sales pages, you know, do not do a good job of this. So, Steve, let's talk a little bit really quickly. What do you recommend when it comes to selling online?
What I try to do is hit as many of their senses as possible, whether it be visually with a video, auditory. I love to use a lot of testimonials with
testimonials are great.
With what I do, because basically what I try to use them to show people is, hey, here's somebody just like you, and here's the experience that we had together. So it's not so much this big diatribe of sell, sell, sell. It's here's the experience that somebody else had just like you. Here's how we walked through it. Here was the end result. If you're interested in learning more, here's this button for more information, or a free download, or some, you know, or to set up a time like Nez does to have a consult to see if it makes sense to work together. So I'm very intensive when it comes to my online stuff. I'd rather put it out there like a hook with some bait on it. If somebody bites, we can learn more. But I don't drive anything down people's throats, no.
Yeah, I think the people that are doing this the best are the ones that try, Nez, to include a little human interaction along the way. You know, it may be that you're coming to a sales page. I'm a big fan of using video on a sales page. A big fan. You know, people will read if they have to, they'll listen if they can, and they'll watch if it's there. So I like using video to do my selling, but in just a second, you know, I think the thing is, no matter what you do, Nez, it has to hit all those points we just talked about. It has to deliver what they want and give them what they need. Without, you guys remember the sales pages that would go on for like 150?
Oh God.
Those
are still people out there saying to use those.
Nowadays, the ones that work are just one scroll with a video. Nez, what do you think?
Video. We're living in the most amazing era ever, where you have an amazing camera on your device in your back pocket. Use it. So what I do specifically, and this has gotten me so many leads. Yes. This has gotten me so many leads, so many sales. And again, as Tim said, you got to hit all those points. But just something really specific, Tim, and then I'll shut up. Okay. But I actually film my clients and my students, and I edit together a reel from the horse's mouth. I put it on my website, you know, call them student testimonials, client testimonials, what have you. I'll put music to it. I'll make, you know, it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot of technical wherewithal. But video, you could even just film it on your device and just post it. And I literally have, so a dentist did this, because I'm the live dude, right? A dentist did this that I saw recently. Here's a little ninja tactic for our listeners. He live streamed a patient after a, root canal that she had. He live streamed it, a dentist.
Was she aware of this?
She was aware of this, yes. And the patient was like, no, after, this was after she was all bandaged up.
She wasn't lying in the chair.
Yeah. Uh-oh, you're out of focus. But the patient was like, he went live. It kind of went viral, not super viral, but it went viral. His business, 100x scaled. So video. I would highly advise everybody, use video. I've gotten so many leads from my website. It's the best tactic.
I think having the patient there in the chair, Steve, with a mouthful of cotton going,
I mean, and then you hear the person going,
speaking of Mongo,
gas him again. Yeah. Give him some more gas.
There go the rails, right off the rails.
I'm telling you, you want the key to virality. There you have it, folks.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. Guys, we only have a minute left. I'm thinking we need to bust this into 2 shows because we really haven't had much time to dive into the selling online portion. And I'm trying to not laugh at the dentist thing. So
You can look this up.
Yeah, but I do. I think we should break this into two parts, because I want to come back and talk more about the power of testimonials, which Steve mentioned. I want to talk more about the power of viral video, which Nez, you are alluding to, how to use that video to really drive traffic. So if you guys are good, we will do
sales.
Yeah, this is part 1 of sales. We're going to do a part 2 where we really pick up on selling online and how to go from there. Hey, the book by Herjavec, Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank, is You Don't Have to Be a Shark, but it helps. 260 in business. Hey, don't forget the Digital Entrepreneur Show. We come to you every week, 2 times a week, Tuesday and Friday at noon Pacific time. We do live shows every now and then in between, schedule permitting. Don't forget, we are on iTunes, we are on SoundCloud, and gosh, guys, we're just everywhere. Don't forget to subscribe, ring my bell. It looks like we're typing. This is like 3 monkeys typing.
We got here on the special bus.
If we do this enough, we'll come up with a bestseller. All right. Hey, if that didn't drive you away, come back for part 2 on the next Digital Entrepreneur Show. Guys, see you next time.